Life is a magnificent journey filled with twists and turns, ups and downs. But here's the truth that can change everything for you. God has a plan for your life. Yes, you heard that right. The creator of the universe, the all-knowing, all-powerful being, has a specific purpose just for you. Now, you might be thinking, how can that be? I'm just one person among billions. But that's where you're mistaken. You are unique, special, and irreplaceable. There has never been and will never be another you. Your fingerprints, your DNA, your experiences, they're all one of a kind. And that's not by chance, it's by design. God's plan for you isn't some vague general idea. It's as specific and unique as you are. It's tailored to your strengths, your passions, and even your weaknesses. Yes, even those parts of yourself that you might consider flaws are part of the plan. They're not mistakes. They're opportunities for growth, for overcoming, for becoming the best version of yourself. But here's the catch. This plan isn't going to unfold automatically. It's not like a movie script where you're just an actor reading lines. No, you have a crucial role to play. You need to seek it out, to uncover it, to work towards it. It's like a treasure hunt, and the map is your life. So how do you start uncovering this plan? It begins with belief. Belief in yourself, belief in a higher purpose, and belief that your life has meaning beyond what you can see right now. This belief is the fuel that will drive you forward, even when the path seems unclear or difficult. Next, you need to listen. Listen to that inner voice, that gut feeling, that intuition. It's often in those quiet moments when we silence the noise of the world that we can hear the whispers of our true purpose. Pay attention to what excites you, what makes you lose track of time, what makes you feel alive. These are clues to your purpose. But listening isn't enough. You need to act, take steps, even small ones, towards what you believe is your purpose. Every journey begins with a single step. And here's the beautiful thing. As you start moving, the path becomes clearer. It's like driving at night. Your headlights might only illuminate the next 100 feet, but you can make the whole journey that way. Now let's talk about obstacles, because make no mistake, there will be obstacles, there will be setbacks, disappointments, and failures. But here's a powerful truth. These are not roadblocks, they're stepping stones. Every obstacle is an opportunity to grow stronger, to learn, to become more of who you're meant to be. Think about it. If God's plan for you is easy, if it didn't require any effort or growth on your part, would it really be worth pursuing? The challenges you face are shaping you, molding you, preparing you for the greatness that lies ahead. Remember, diamonds are formed under pressure. Gold is refined by fire. And you are being prepared for something extraordinary. The hardships you're facing today are building the strength you'll need for tomorrow. But you might be wondering, what if I've made mistakes? What if I've gone off track? Here's the incredible thing about God's plan. It's flexible. It's not a rigid one-shot deal. God's plan for you is dynamic, adapting to your choices, your growth, even your missteps. Think of it like a GPS system. When you take a wrong turn, it doesn't just give up and leave you stranded. It recalculates, finding a new route to your destination. That's how God's plan works. No matter where you are, no matter what you've done, you can always get back on track. In fact, sometimes those detours, those seeming mistakes, become an integral part of your journey. They give you experiences, insights, and strengths that you'll need later on. Nothing is wasted in God's economy. So if you're feeling lost, if you're wondering if you've missed your chance, take heart. Your best days are still ahead of you. It's never too late to start pursuing your purpose. Now let's talk about fear. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles that keeps people from pursuing their purpose. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of not being good enough. But here's the truth. Fear is a liar. It tells you that you can't when you can. It tells you that you're not enough when you're more than enough. Fear is like a fog. It can make the path ahead seem unclear and dangerous. But just like a fog, it's not solid, it's not real. You can walk right through it if you have the courage to take that first step. And here's something powerful to remember. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite the fear. Every great person who ever lived felt fear. The difference is they didn't let it stop them. To feel the fear, acknowledge it, but don't let it paralyze you. Use it as fuel. Let it push you to prepare more, to work harder, to become stronger. Turn your fear into determination. Now let's talk about patience. In our fast-paced world, we often expect instant results. We want success overnight, purpose revealed in a flash. But that's not how it works. God's plan for you is like a seed. It needs time to grow, to develop, to bear fruit. Think about an oak tree. It doesn't spring up overnight. It starts as a tiny acorn buried in the ground. For a long time, nothing seems to be happening. But beneath the surface, roots are growing, gathering strength. And then one day, a small shoot breaks through the soil. It's just the beginning, but it's visible progress. Your purpose is like that. It's growing, even when you can't see it. Every experience you have, every lesson you learn, every challenge you overcome. They're all contributing to your growth. So be patient with yourself. Trust the process. Your time will come. But patience doesn't mean passivity. While you're waiting, you should be preparing. Develop your skills, learn new things. Work on your character, because when your opportunity comes, and it will come, you want to be ready. Remember, success is when preparation meets opportunity. So prepare yourself, read books, take courses, practice your craft. Whatever your field, whatever your passion, become the best you can be at it. Because that's part of God's plan for you too. To develop the gifts He's given you to their fullest potential. Now let's talk about comparison. In today's world of social media, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing your life to others. You see people achieving great things, living seemingly perfect lives, and you wonder, why not me? Why is God's plan for them so much better than His plan for me? But here's the truth. Comparison is the thief of joy. It blinds you to the blessings in your own life. It makes you overlook your own progress, your own unique journey. Remember, God's plan for you is just that, for you. It's not meant to look like anyone else's life. Your journey is unique, your timing is unique, your purpose is unique. So instead of looking at others and feeling discouraged, look at your own life. Celebrate your progress. Be grateful for your blessings. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself, not a second-rate version of someone else. And speaking of gratitude, let's talk about its power in uncovering and fulfilling God's plan for your life. Gratitude is like a magnet for blessings. When you're grateful for what you have, you open yourself up to receive more. Start each day by counting your blessings. No matter how difficult your circumstances might be, there's always something to be thankful for. Your health, your loved ones, the air you breathe, the opportunities ahead of you. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you start to see the abundance in your life. Gratitude also shifts your perspective. It helps you see opportunities where others see obstacles. It helps you find lessons in your failures. It keeps you positive and optimistic, which is crucial when you're working towards your purpose. Remember, God's plan for you is good. It's for your welfare, not for your harm. It's to give you a future and a hope. So even when things are tough, even when you can't see the way forward, be grateful. You trust that there's a purpose behind your struggles, a reason for your journey. Now let's talk about the power of your thoughts. Your thoughts shape your reality. They influence your actions, your attitudes, your outcomes. If you constantly think negative thoughts, if you doubt God's plan for you, if you believe you're not capable of greatness, you're setting yourself up for failure. But if you fill your mind with positive thoughts, if you believe in your potential, if you trust in God's plan, you're paving the way for success. Your thoughts are like seeds. Whatever you plant in your mind will grow and bear fruit in your life. So guard your thoughts carefully. When negative thoughts come, and they will come, don't entertain them. Replace them with positive affirmations. Remind yourself of your worth, your potential, your purpose. Speak life over yourself and your future. And here's a powerful technique, visualization. Spend time each day visualizing yourself living out your purpose, achieving your goals, becoming the person you're meant to be. See it in your mind's eye. Feel the emotions associated with it. This isn't just daydreaming. It's programming your subconscious mind for success. Now let's talk about the importance of relationships in God's plan for your life. No one achieves greatness alone. We all need support, encouragement, guidance, so surround yourself with positive people who believe in you, who push you to be your best self. Seek out mentors who have walked the path you're on. Learn from their experiences, their successes, their failures. Their wisdom can save you years of trial and error. And be willing to be a mentor yourself. Share your knowledge, your experiences, your insights with others. Because here's a powerful truth. Often we discover more about our own purpose when we help others discover theirs. You remember, you're not just here to receive blessings, but to be a blessing to others. That's part of God's plan for you too, to make a positive difference in the lives of others. Now let's address something important, the fear of success. It might sound strange, but many people are more afraid of success than they are of failure. They worry about the responsibility that comes with success, the expectations, the potential for disappointment. But here's the truth. You were created for greatness. Success isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace. It's the fulfillment of God's plan for your life. And with great success comes great opportunity, opportunity to grow, to serve, to make a bigger impact. So don't shrink back from success. Don't play small. Embrace your potential. Step into your greatness. Because that's what God's plan for you is all about, becoming all that you were created to be. Now let's talk about persistence. Pursuing God's plan for your life isn't always easy. There will be times when you feel like giving up, when the obstacles seem too great, when your dreams seem too far out of reach. But here's where the rubber meets the road. Success often comes to those who are willing to persist when others have given up. It's not about never falling. It's about getting up one more time than you fall. Think about some of the most successful people in history. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he successfully invented the light bulb. Colonel Sanders was rejected over 1,000 times before someone accepted his chicken recipe. J.K. Rowling was turned down by multiple publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. What if they had given up? What if they had decided that it was too hard, that maybe it wasn't meant to be? The world would be a different place. And the same is true for you. Your persistence in pursuing God's plan for your life could change the world in ways you can't even imagine. So when things get tough, when you feel like quitting, remember why you started. Remember that God's plan for you is worth fighting for. Take a deep breath, gather your strength, and keep moving forward. Now, let's talk about the power of faith. Faith is the bedrock of pursuing God's plan for your life. It's what keeps you going when you can't see the way forward. It's what gives you strength when your own resources are depleted. Faith isn't just believing in God. It's believing God. It's trusting that His plan for you is good, even when circumstances seem to suggest otherwise. It's holding on to hope when everything around you is telling you to give up. And here's the beautiful thing about faith. It grows stronger as you exercise it. Every time you choose to trust God's plan, every time you take a step forward in faith, you're building your faith muscle. You're becoming stronger, more resilient, more capable of facing whatever challenges lie ahead. So nurture your faith. Feed it with positive thoughts, with gratitude, with worship. Let it be the anchor that holds you steady in the storms of life. Now, let's address something that many people struggle with. The feeling of unworthiness. You might be thinking, why would God have a special plan for me? I'm not special. I've made too many mistakes. I'm not good enough. But here's the truth. God's love for you, His plan for you, isn't based on your performance. It's not about what you've done or haven't done. It's based on His character, His love, His grace. You are worthy because God says you're worthy. You are valuable because God values you. You are loved because God loves you. And nothing can change that. No mistake is too big, no failure too great to disqualify you from God's love and His plan for your life. So stop disqualifying yourself. Stop listening to the voice of unworthiness. Instead, start agreeing with what God says about you, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that you are chosen, that you have a purpose. Now let's talk about the importance of starting where you are. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, I'll pursue God's plan for my life when I have more money, when I have more time, when I have more education, when the circumstances are perfect. But here's the truth. There's no perfect time to start. The best time to start is now, right where you are with what you have. Remember the parable of the talents. The servants who were rewarded were the ones who used what they had been given, not the one who waited for better circumstances. So start small if you have to, but start. Take that first step, write that first page, make that first call. Apply for that job, volunteer for that cause. Whatever you believe is the next step in God's plan for your life, do it. Now, because here's the thing, momentum is powerful. Once you start moving, it's easier to keep moving. One small step leads to another, and before you know it, you're making significant progress towards your purpose. Remember, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. He doesn't expect you to have it all figured out. He just expects you to be willing to be available to take that step of faith. Now let's talk about the power of your words. Your words of creative power. They can build up or tear down. They can open doors or close them. They can attract opportunities or repel them. So speak life over yourself and your future. Declare God's promises over your life. Speak as though His plan for you is already unfolding, because it is. Your words are shaping your reality, so make sure they align with the future you want to create. And be careful about what you say to others, too. Your words can be the encouragement someone else needs to pursue their purpose. They can be the spark that ignites someone else's dreams. Use your words wisely. Use them to build up, to encourage, to inspire. Now, let's address something important, the fear of making the wrong decision. Many people get paralyzed trying to figure out God's plan for their life. They're afraid of making a mistake, of choosing the wrong path. But here's the liberating truth. You can't mess up God's plan for your life. His plan is bigger than your mistakes. His purpose for you is more resilient than your wrong turns. Remember, even if you take a detour, God's GPS is always recalculating, always guiding you back to your destiny. So don't be afraid to make decisions. Don't be paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong choice. Make the best decision you can with the information you have and trust God to guide your steps. Remember, it's often in the process of making decisions, of taking action, that God's plan becomes clearer. It's like driving at night. You might only be able to see as far as your headlights, but you can make the whole journey that way. Now, let's talk about the importance of serving others. It's easy to get so focused on discovering and pursuing our own purpose that we forget a crucial truth. Our purpose is always connected to serving others. God's plan for your life isn't just about you. It's about how you can make a difference in the world, how you can be a blessing to others. The talents you've been given, the experiences you've had, the lessons you've learned, they're not just for your benefit. They're meant to be shared, to be used for the greater good. Your purpose is intertwined with the lives of others, with the betterment of the world around you. Think about it. Every great person who ever lived, every hero we admire, every leader who changed the course of history, they all had one thing in common. They used their talents, their resources, their influence to serve others. They understood that true greatness lies not in what you accumulate, but in what you contribute. So as you pursue God's plan for your life, always keep this question in mind. How can I use this to serve others? How can I use my skills, my knowledge, my experiences to make someone else's life better? Because that's where you'll find true fulfillment. That's where you'll find the deepest sense of purpose. And here's the beautiful paradox. The more you give, the more you receive. The more you focus on serving others, the more your own life is enriched. It's like a spiritual law of nature. When you're a blessing to others, blessings flow back to you in abundance. Now let's talk about the power of consistency. God's plan for your life isn't going to unfold overnight. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And in this marathon, consistency is key. It's not about making huge leaps forward every day. It's about making small, consistent steps in the right direction. Think about water. A single drop of water might not seem powerful, but a steady stream of water over time can carve through solid rock. That's the power of consistency. Your daily habits, your daily choices, your daily actions, they might seem small and insignificant in the moment, but over time they shape your character, your skills, your life. So focus on developing good habits. Create routines that support your growth, that move you closer to your goals. Maybe it's waking up a little earlier to spend time in prayer or meditation. Maybe it's dedicating an hour each day to learning a new skill. Maybe it's making one phone call each day to encourage someone. Whatever it is, do it consistently. Remember, success is not about doing extraordinary things. It's about doing ordinary things extraordinarily well, consistently. That's how you build a life of purpose. That's how you fulfill God's plan for your life. Now, let's address something that many people struggle with: the fear of stepping out of your comfort zone. God's plan for your life will almost certainly require you to do things you've never done before, to go places you've never been, to become someone you've never been. And that can be scary. But here's the truth. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. To step into God's plan for your life, you need to be willing to step out of your comfort zone. Think about a butterfly. For it to become what it's meant to be, it has to leave the safety of its cocoon. It has to struggle, to push, to break free, and that struggle is what gives it the strength to fly. The same is true for you. The challenges you face, the fears you overcome, they're giving you the strength you need to soar. So embrace discomfort. See it as a sign of growth, a sign that you're moving in the right direction. Because on the other side of your comfort zone is where miracles happen. It's where you discover strengths you never knew you had. It's where you become the person God created you to be. Now let's talk about the importance of flexibility. While it's crucial to have a clear vision of God's plan for your life, it's equally important to be flexible in how you pursue that vision. Life is unpredictable. As circumstances change, new opportunities arise, and sometimes God's plan unfolds in ways we never expected. So hold tight to your vision, but be flexible in your methods. Be open to new ideas, new approaches, new paths. Sometimes what looks like a detour is actually a shortcut. Sometimes what seems like a setback is actually a setup for something greater. You remember God's ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts, so trust His guidance even when it doesn't make sense to you. Be willing to adjust your sails when the wind changes direction. Because flexibility isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's what allows you to keep moving forward no matter what life throws your way. Now let's address something that many people struggle with. The feeling of being stuck. Maybe you've been pursuing God's plan for your life, but you feel like you're not making progress. Maybe you feel like you're running in place, like you're putting in effort but not seeing results. If that's you, I want you to remember this. Sometimes the greatest growth happens beneath the surface. Think about a bamboo plant. For the first 5 years after it's planted, you see no visible growth above the ground. But during those 5 years, it's developing a complex root system underground. And then in the 5th year, it suddenly shoots up, growing up to 90 feet in just 6 weeks. Your life can be like that. Just because you can't see progress doesn't mean it's not happening. Just because you don't feel like you're moving forward doesn't mean you're standing still. Trust the process. Keep putting in the work. Keep believing, because your breakthrough could be just around the corner. And remember, every experience you're having, every challenge you're facing, is preparing you for what's ahead. Nothing is wasted in God's economy. He's using every part of your journey to shape you, to strengthen you, to prepare you for the purpose He has for you. Now let's talk about the power of focus. In today's world, there are so many distractions, so many things competing for your attention, and it's easy to get pulled in 100 different directions to lose sight of what really matters. But here's the truth. Where focus goes, energy flows. What you focus on expands. So if you want to fulfill God's plan for your life, you need to learn to focus. You need to learn to say no to good things so you can say yes to the best things. This doesn't mean you need to have tunnel vision. It doesn't mean you can't have diverse interests or multiple goals. But it does mean you need to be intentional about where you're investing your time, your energy, your resources. It means aligning your daily actions with your long-term vision. So take some time to clarify your priorities. What are the most important things in your life? What are the key areas where you believe God wants you to make an impact? Once you've identified these, focus on them relentlessly. Let them guide your decisions, your actions, your life. Now let's address something that many people struggle with, for being the feeling of inadequacy. Maybe you have a sense of what God's plan for your life might be, but you feel woefully unprepared. You look at the size of the dream, and then you look at yourself and you think, who am I to do this? I don't have what it takes. But here's the beautiful truth. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. He doesn't expect you to have it all figured out. He doesn't expect you to have all the skills, all the resources, all the connections right from the start. He just expects you to be willing, to be available, to take that first step of faith. Remember David? He was just a shepherd boy when he was called to be king. Moses, he was a fugitive with a speech impediment when God called him to lead his people out of Egypt. The disciples, they were ordinary fishermen when Jesus called them to change the world. God's not looking for perfect people. He's looking for willing people, people who will trust Him, who will step out in faith, who will allow Him to work through them. Because here's the thing. When God gives you a mission, He also gives you the provision. When He gives you a vision, He also gives you the resources to fulfill it. So don't disqualify yourself. Don't let feelings of inadequacy hold you back. Instead, lean into God's strength, trust His wisdom, rely on His provision. Because with God, all things are possible, and He can do more through you than you could ever do on your own. Now, let's talk about the importance of community in fulfilling God's plan for your life. We often think of purpose as an individual pursuit, but the truth is, we're not meant to walk this journey alone. We need each other. We need community. Think about it. In nature, the strongest trees are those that grow in a forest, not in isolation. They're protected by each other. They share resources. They support each other. The same is true for us. We are stronger together than we are apart. So surround yourself with people who believe in you, who support your dreams, who challenge you to grow. Seek out mentors who can guide you, who can share their wisdom and experience. Find peers who are on a similar journey, who can encourage you and hold you accountable. And remember, community isn't just about what you can receive. It's also about what you can give. Look for opportunities to encourage others, to support their dreams, to be a mentor yourself. Because often, it's in helping others fulfill their purpose that we find deeper clarity about our own. Now let's address something that many people struggle with, the fear of failure. the fear of letting God down, of not living up to his plan for your life. But here's the liberating truth. Failure is not fatal. It's not final. It's not even failure if you learn from it. In fact, failure is often a crucial part of the journey. It's how we learn. It's how we grow. It's how we discover what doesn't work so we can find what does. Every successful person you admire has a long list of failures behind them. The difference is they didn't let those failures define them or stop them. So change your perspective on failure. See it not as an end, but as a bend in the road. See it not as a punishment, but as a lesson. See it not as a sign that you're on the wrong path, but as a necessary part of finding the right one. And remember, God's love for you, his plan for you, isn't dependent on your performance. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about getting up one more time when you fall down. It's about keeping your eyes on the vision, even when the path gets tough. Now, as we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with this final thought. God's plan for your life is not just about reaching a destination. It's about who you become in the process. It's about the character you develop, the lives you touch, the impact you make along the way. So embrace the journey, embrace the process. Embrace the growth, because every step you take, every challenge you overcome, every lesson you learn, it's all part of God's plan for you. It's all shaping you into the person you're meant to be. Remember, you are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are a unique, valuable, irreplaceable part of God's grand design. You have a purpose, you have a calling, you have a destiny. So step into it with confidence. Step into it with faith. Step into it knowing that the God who created the universe, who set the stars in place, who breathed life into you, he has a plan for you. And it's powerful, it's world-changing. Your best days are not behind you. They're ahead of you. Your greatest achievements are not in your past. They're in your future, so lift your head high, square your shoulders, take a deep breath, and step forward into the amazing future God has planned for you. Because you were born for such a time as this. You were created for greatness. You were designed for impact. And as you align your life with God's plan, as you step into your purpose with courage and faith, you will see miracles happen. You will see doors open. You will see lives changed, starting with your own. So go forth with confidence. Go forth with purpose. Go forth knowing that you are loved, you are valued, and you have a vital role to play in this world, because God has a plan for you, and it's greater than you could ever imagine.